Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another episode of Kicking Aces here in World of Tanks, and today I am driving my Tier VIII American premium medium tank, the T95E2. And I am in a lovely position here in Arctic Region where I can go hull down and use the great turret armor of this tank to my benefit and really work the strengths of this tank. Now, early on, I got a couple of spots there, a little damage. I ran into this guy. This is the M6 Mutant, a tank that I have never seen before, and I have no idea how to take it out. And during this battle, you can see me kind of try to figure it out piece by piece. So first thing I do when I have a tank that I don't know how to get through is I aim for the lower plate. Well, that didn't work. The standard ammunition on the T95E2 has about 175 millimeters of penetration, and it turns out, I did my research after this battle, the M6 Mutant has about 191 millimeters of frontal armor, and of course it's sloped, so it's actually even more effective than that, upwards of 200. So I switched over to the premium rounds. The heat ammunition on this tank has 250 millimeters of penetration, and that was enough to go through the front flush of the M6 Mutant. So we did a little bit of damage there, and now I'm going to push forward to the more aggressive position that I usually go to on this map, but I didn't early in this battle because there was a high tier premium platoon on the enemy team, and I figured they would push pretty aggressively, and I didn't want to get isolated. So I'm going to push up here. I'm having some struggles getting through the front of the Mutant, but now I get a lovely little side shot, and that's the key to this tank. If you can get its side, the armor on that thing is terrible. So it's kind of a T1 or a T6 body with a poor man's T29 turret on top. So that's the key. Get to the sides if you can. Otherwise, the premium ammo does go through, and that one there, I hit the cheeks of the turret. That looked like a really terrible angle, but it did happen to go through. So maybe you can have some success with the cheeks. They're fairly well armored, but you can get through them as you saw there. And then I see the Tiger 1 go for the mid plate, which is poorly angled, and so my standard ammunition rounds are enough to get through there, and that secures my first kill of the game. So now this is the most dangerous part of a push when you're starting in the east, because you've got to cover this open terrain, and if anybody's up on the hill on the red team, they're going to have free shots on you. You can get tracked, you can get taken out very quickly. But luckily I make it into cover. I'm spotted this entire time, but I haven't taken any shots yet, any damage. So we're going to try and advance, get to the protection of this rock face here, and there we see there is an enemy up on the hill. That's a T95E2, which is an American tank destroyer, Tier VII, and it does have a turret. So we're going to get into position again. We're kind of hull down here. This is great. I'm going to aim, and I have a lovely shot into his rear, and lucky day, we get a fire. It ticks for about 4 points of damage. So he probably had a manual fire extinguisher, and boy, is he turning slowly. I think he's got some major injuries or module damage going on after that fire. So one more should do it here. We're going to aim. Shot flies true, and that tank destroyer is removed. We pretty much took out the entirety of his health. And then, nice awareness by me here. Taking a look at the mini-map, I see the Super Pershing is advancing towards our remaining heavy tank there, and we're able to track him, which allows us to get some assistance damage, and then on top of that, we can put in one more shot into his rear. So we're having a good game. I'm checking, it's cleanup mode now. It's 13-7. There's 2 enemy tanks left. It looks like a T29 on very low health, and the other remaining enemy is a Borsig. Of course it is. I always seem to come down to a Borsig showdown in my T95E2 replays. I will show you a video right here. You can go check out another Ace Tanker replay in this tank where I have a one-on-one with a Borsig at the end of the battle. So, the Borsig, I didn't know if his gun was pointing towards me or away from me. It was pointing towards, so I'm able to pump a couple of high explosive rounds into him to really deal the damage. One more should do it, and oh, did you see that? The shot flew right into the barrel of his gun, detonated for no damage, and just damaged the accuracy of his gun. He was still able to fire and put a big hit into me. He is using the 150 millimeter, which has an average damage of 750. So he took a big chunk out of my health. I have 805 health left, which means he can kill me with one shot from that gun, but he would have to roll really high and get really lucky to do it. So I'm going to go for it here. I see his gun's pointing the wrong way. I'm going to sneak in, pump one more shot in. 240 average damage on the armor-piercing rounds on this tank, and he's removed from the game for my third kill. So here's the results. That was 3,785 damage with another 1,000 assistance on top, and that's enough for a mastery badge in the T95E2. So we can see we had for our double 5,854 experience, We have put away 132,000 credits. That's with no mission completions. That's just for the premium tank with a premium account. Even without the premium account, we would have done 80,000 damage. So we'll do a quick scroll through on the efficiency list. We'll see what tanks that I dealt damage to, and then we'll take a quick look at the detailed stats before wrapping it up. But just to recap, the strengths of this tank, it's not available right now. It's a bit of a rare tank that was for sale during the battalion pack, but I really love it. As far as silver earners go, for a tier 8 premium, it's great. I know a lot of people swear by the Yag Tiger 88, but for me, I prefer a medium, I prefer a mobile, and I prefer a turret, and the T95E2 just checks all the boxes for me. So we can see 28 shots fired, 23 hits, and 18 penetrations. We did block a couple of shots there as well using the turret armor early in the game, and you can see there that there was a heavy top tier premium platoon on the enemy team, and that was what made me be a little less aggressive in the start of this match, and it paid off really well. We got some early spots, got some early damage, dealt with a brand new tank that I'd never seen before. It's not new to the game, but just new to me, and we were able to dissect that and come away with a really great result. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me. See ya.